Hello, and welcome to the Spyder Lair. I'm Spyder, of course, and last week on this channel we talked with my guest Franco Galz about the mysteries of art and really life itself. I had to edit our audio for time, so I thought for this week's Speedpaint I'd overlay some of the more whimsical and poignant snippets off the cutting room floor. And then to take it one layer deeper behind the scenes, this speed paint will give you a sneak peek into my latest project. Every year I make a themed Valentine card set, and this year I went with a demonic theme. So, hot, sexy demons. Woo! So yeah, sit back and enjoy watching me paint not one, but two Demontines is my working title. While Franco and I get cerebral right in your ears. And for context, we were on the subject of the be your own boss aspect of living the freelance artist life and how creative types tend to be agents of change, imagining what the world could be in the face of what it really is currently. And a big content warning for Spyder talk and metaphorical death themes, but nothing, too literal. Whew. Okay. Ready? Okay, let's dive in. It's the hardest thing to do to just kind of step into your power and you are the boss. Okay, my time in charge now. Nobody's going to verify back to me whether I did it right. I'm the only judge of the situation. And without that external, hierarchy of somebody patting you on the head or just nodding oh, yep, did a great job. Now time to do this other thing. And without somebody telling you what to do, it's very scary to be in charge. It's very scary to be in a position where nobody can tell you what to do but you. And I think people run from that.
Be their own boss in a way,
right.
as memeable as that phrase is, we in a way we are our own boss, right? Or we try to, right? And not everyone can do that. But in the other hand, it's sometimes you're just man, I just want to be normal, for a month maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be a normal person that has no creative impulse of any kind and doesn't need to be doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What if I just was able to enjoy just having a normal job, 9 to 5, doing a normal thing, just coming back home and just being satisfied with that? Wouldn't that be nice,
Yeah, I will say that working at the post office made me want to stop living. I don't mean that in it sounds so morose. The zest for life is gone. I feel so far away from myself when I'm doing things like that. Because no part of my body is into it. No part of my head is into it. I can't be into it. I try, but I can't make it. I can't make it work.
Literally painful to not if you are put in a position where you cannot I guess live the way you want to, right? It gets painful. It gets really painful. It's man, I remember when I was going to college, I would be sitting in a math class doing math or whatever, and I would get so much anxiety because I would just be thinking, dude, if I could only draw, if I could only make stuff while in this time that I'm doing, and it just felt really, really, really bad.
Yeah, you can feel the finiteness of your own life in those moments. You understand, you understand that you're going to die, and you're
you really can. You're man, if I died right now, bro, I'm gonna be so mad at this stupid school for making me do this stupid math instead of letting me draw.
Exactly.
In my final hours.
I think this is why I don't get art block, is because in my mind, I'll never draw everything, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Franco, that thought depresses me. I hate that I won't. There's no way to. You can't draw everything that was ever made. I have to. I have only a finite amount of time to draw things as quickly as possible. And so every moment that I'm not doing it, I really am just depressed. So to me, it's very fascinating when people are oh, I just can't find the motivation to draw. I'm I can't find the motivation to do anything but draw. I don't feel alive when I'm not doing it. I hate taking a shower. I hate eating. I hate everything that's not that. And so it just, I need to be making something. I need to be expressing myself. I need to understand the world around me through art. Oh, you want to know something I found out that's quite fascinating about spiders is that they use their webs to interpret the world around them. So they've made an external thing that they're now using to give them information to help them understand and receive input. That how is that not like what we do? Like we're like making something with our body to like interpret the world around us. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought that was so like perfect. Okay, here's something also quite fascinating, I think, about spiders anyway, and about that I relate to my own life in a large way, is that they completely molt their exoskeleton. And when they come out of it, they're just different now. Like my spiders, every time they molt, they change personalities. Like I have like 4 tarantulas, and every time they molt, they come out looking so different, and they also act different. And I think that's wild that they undergo this huge transformation all at once, and it's painful and scary for them. I have one who gets stuck in her molt a lot because she's so like, I don't know if she's scared of molting or it's so painful or like awful to do that she just hates the process. So like if your spider hasn't molted after about 4 hours, you should just assume that their exoskeleton has hardened around them and they're dead inside of their molt. She takes 24 hours to do it, and she's huge. And I don't know how she like doesn't get stuck inside of it. Because it sounds like the scariest thing you could possibly do, because it would be like you trying to take off a sweater that was slightly tighter than your own skin, but like you got stuck in it and then you just died there and were entombed in your old self. Like that's so like metaphorically awful, you know? And so
I literally too, like it's pretty bad.
And metaphorically, physically, on all levels, it just sounds like the worst way to die. Spiders die this way all the time. Like this, they just get stuck in their molts. They don't want to come out. It's too hard. It hurts too much. And so it's like that is the level of like the ringer that you're put through. I feel like when you go through really huge changes, whether it's like leveling up, like in your art, or it's like changing up your style, or you've now gotten a new perspective, or you are grasping the basics of art like in a new way. I feel like every single time I come through a new transition in life, it's not like it's not just an objectively good thing. Like it's never just good. Like it's kind of the most painful thing is to like actually have somebody like critique your art and you realize what you're doing that is not appealing. Like you're like grasping it finally, and it hurts.
We're very adverse to change, and everything that does not line up with our current opinion or perception of the world, our mind is just like, no, we're not having that. No, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. Even if it makes perfect sense. Even if it's got all the evidence that like right there in front of you, you know, you have it there, but it just doesn't feel good, you know?
Yeah, and I think it goes back to the whole like, so when an agent of change walks in, an agent of change walks into a bar, and it's like, oh, hey, did you know that that person could be working less hours if you just hired on one more staff member, and if you more evenly distributed the money, oh, and also your manager's taking most of it off the top. People don't like that. Like they don't like it, you know.
Totally,
it's just it's not what they're used to.
They're like who are you to challenge my worldview?
I've been living this way for 10 years. It's like somebody being in a dimly lit room and you're like, oh, you could just get like a brighter light bulb, and they're just like, I've been using this amount of light for 10 years now, and like I am just perfectly fine. And it's just like their eyes are still struggling to like adapt to how dim it is or something. And it's just there's some kind of, I think my most recent ego death has been my most recent tarantula molt has been just I have to have a calm acceptance over the fact that I can't do anything about where people are in their journey, and like who am I to like, how egotistical is it to be like, no, I need you to understand like your own suffering.
That is terribly hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, again, I am very consumed by my art, right? So most of the things I relate to are related. I don't go out there in the real world and speak to real people often, right? So yeah, like most of the things I say are related, right? But that, like you said, that ego death is painful too. Like You cannot help everyone, even if you want to, even if you know you could potentially, tell them something that would make them come out of their shell and see the sunlight, but
Yeah.
it's just not just not possible. It's just not realistic. And if you try too hard, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt you bad. Like you're gonna slip on the way and you're gonna fall and you're gonna hurt yourself because you're gonna fail terribly too much.
Yeah,
Because
I feel like all you can do is your due diligence of like, I showed you the door. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm still gonna do that, even though it is going to pain me a little bit. I'm just gonna have to take that hit. I'll throw it in the back of the cart. I like to imagine like I'm a giant ox pulling a cart. I'm a Year of the Ox person, so I like to imagine this scenario. And I just have to, like, as I get older, there's so much in the cart now that like I have to gradually decide what else I'm gonna throw on top because I'm like running out of energy. I'm getting older, and I have lightened my load a lot. By going to therapy and processing traumas and things like that. It lightens my own load to make room for more things. So I think as you get older, you get better at assessing your energy level, especially since your body just starts being like, nope, we're not doing that. It's like my what's the whole thing? My body is my dad now, or something. Like it tells me I can't have any more donuts, or like, oh god, eating a donut makes me feel miserable. But like I'll just like I'll just
like physically, or
yeah,
like
my my body's my parent. I in all
I am prematurely old, so I can relate. It's like like I can still do awful things to my body and not have I not like die, But like I ate a donut, right? Like I have a slice of pizza, like when I know I shouldn't, and I just start like, ugh. It just starts like telling me, no, don't do it, and I'm like, shut up.
Who's that? Who's that young man? Oh, that's old man Franco.
Yeah. And then he kicks in, and I'm like, oh, I should have listened.